Hi Miko, thank you so much for introducing me to these delicious Laskiainen. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm absolutely stunned by how beautiful these buns are. I made both kinds with the almond paste as well as the raspberry jam filling. And after tasting both of them, I think my favorite is the raspberry. And I know it's not traditional, but I think it would be really delicious to combine both fillings together. I'm really looking forward to seeing what your savory version turns out to be, and I can't wait to try your recipe. And I did some research on these buns and have learned quite a bit that I share over on my video, so I'm excited to share with your viewers both the traditional recipe for both flavors as well as the history and culture that goes with these buns. So thank you so much, Miko, for doing this collaboration with me. This was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed this dessert and will definitely be making these again. For your viewers, my name is Kristin. I have a channel called Bake Across Europe where I share weekly videos featuring a European baked good, and I also share with you the history and traditions that go along with each bake. So I hope you'll come over and check my channel out. And I can't wait to see your finished product, Miko.
Thank you, Kristin. Make sure to send me some. Those look absolutely amazing. Since I'm in New York, one of my absolute favorite sandwiches here in New York is a lox bagel, which is a bagel that has some cream cheese, has some lox in it, maybe some tomatoes, onions, and it's not a very well-known sandwich in Finland, although it definitely should be, because Finland has definitely all those ingredients already available. But I figured I'll make a fusion dish and make a savory Shrove Tuesday bun that looks like it could be a regular Shrove Tuesday bun. So join me and I'll show you how to make this culinary fusion sandwich. So we'll make a bread that's kind of like pulla, except it's not going to be as sweet. We're going to omit almost all of the sugar and of course the cardamom. I have here 2.5 deciliters of warm milk. I have here 400 grams of flour. Then I have 2 teaspoons of yeast, a teaspoon each sugar and salt. And then I have 100 grams of butter. First, we'll proof the yeast in some sugar. And we'll let it sit for a few minutes just so that it can get frothy. And while I'm waiting for my yeast to proof, I'm just going to mix my salt with the flour. Okay, now that our yeast is definitely active, we're going to pour it all in here. And we're going to start whisking in our flour. Now that we can't do it manually anymore, we're gonna use the machine. Now we'll change over to the dough hook and add the rest of the flour. And now that the dough is starting to come together, like this, we're going to start adding our butter. A little bit at a time. So each time, make sure that the butter is completely incorporated into the dough before adding the next piece. Now that all the butter has been incorporated, I'm just going to give it a few kneads by hand. I'm going to add just a little bit more flour because my dough is a little bit on the wet side. Always keep a little bit of flour on hand just in case you need to add more. It's easier to add more to the dough than to subtract it. So now the dough is ready. We're just going to let this proof for about 45 minutes or until it's doubled in a warm place, covered. I'll see you then. All right, let's weigh our dough so we can split it evenly between the 8 buns. So we have 95 grams per bun. Let's add a little flour to the bench. Do a couple of kneads. And we're just going to make balls from the dough. There we go. Now we'll let this proof again about 45 minutes before we brush them with some egg wash. Now our buns have been proofing yet another 45 minutes, so I'm just going to brush them with some egg to get that nice color and also to help with the next step. Normally pulla has pearl sugar on top, but since these are savory ones, I can't use pearl sugar. So instead, I have here some bagel salt, which looks very much like pearl sugar. So I'm just going to sprinkle a few pieces of salt on top. And then these are going to go in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius, until they're done, which may take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, depending on your oven. All right, and I'll see you then. All right, so our buns are ready, so let's dress them up. I have here some smoked salmon and some cream cheese that has been brought up to room temperature. And also, I like a little bit of tomato in my smoked salmon sandwich. And let's cut open one of these buns. So we're gonna dress this up to look kind of like a shrove bun. Obviously this is a savory one. So we'll add some of this cream cheese on the bottom. So it'll look like this whipped cream here. A generous schmear, as it's called. And we'll also add a piece of salmon, a couple pieces of salmon. And now we'll slice the tomato. Add it on the top. Let's add just a little bit of green onion on top as well. And here we go, a savory alternative to the shrove bun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Finish Your Plate.